How's it going, gamers? It's GameStack Hunter, and welcome to my September monthly video game pickups. These are the games that have made it into my collection this month, ranging from old school to new school. Some of them you may have seen in my previous videos, and some of them I have ordered online, maybe picked up on eBay, or just gotten from other channels and means. But I'm very excited because I got some really good games to add to my collection this month. So let's go ahead and just get started. I think that we'll start just kind of by age of console and work our way up. So we'll start with the retro stuff. We'll start with Nintendo, the original. And I got a small stack of games for the Nintendo this month. I'm always happy to add to my retro collection now. As you guys know, for those of you who've been watching, I really didn't intend to start picking up on retro games as of yet, but I actually kind of turned and I'm focusing more and more on them every day. So let's get started. The first game that I got was Galaga, which is a pretty classic game, Demons of Death. I'm not sure if this is anything different than the original Galaga. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I definitely knew this was going to need to go into my collection. And the next game that I got, now I had part 2 of this. You guys have seen this earlier in the summer, and now I have part 1, which is Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden. I know it's a Gaiden, but we've always pronounced it Gaiden where I come from, so you know, that's just one of those things. But anyways, this is a super hard game. If you ever really want to be challenged, this is probably one of the more challenging Nintendo games that you can actually play besides Ghouls and Goblins, or Ghouls and Ghosts. The next game is one that is very dear to my heart, which is Spy Hunter, because this was a core game in my early years. And it's a really cool game. You're a car, you're driving around, and you can turn into a boat, and you get guns, and you get to shoot other cars. There's bulletproof cars. It's really neat. And it's kind of a simple game, but you know, once you get going full speed, it gets a little bit challenging. So definitely, if you guys don't have this, add it to your collection because it's fantastic. The next game is another one that I had when I was a kid, and it's a really cool game. You're a dude running around with a bionic arm, and you can swing from stuff and shoot, and you have to go in and do a little bit of like hacking, and they actually did a remake on the PlayStation Network. So if you enjoy this, make sure you check out the one on the PlayStation Network, the remake of it, which is really a fun game to play as well. So that's that. The next game is Super C, which is the next in line of the Contra games. I've always been a big fan of Contra, and I remember this one being a lot more fun than the original one. So if you get a chance, make sure you add this one to your collection as well, because Contra is by far just a wonderful core game from back in the days. And then finally, because I'm actually just really getting started in my retro collection, I didn't have the original Legend of Zelda in my collection. So I added this to my collection, and it's in really good condition. It's got a little bit of wear. I mean, if I find a better copy, I'll probably swap it out, but I have no problems keeping this one in my collection. I'm super happy to have it. I'm a big fan of Zelda, as you guys probably already know. Alright, so now we're moving on to the Super Nintendo. Unfortunately, Super Nintendo seems to be a harder console for me to come by, so you know, maybe it just was the season. For all I know, next season I could just run across huge scores, but in all of my garage sailing times, I've really never come across a really large Super Nintendo score. I've gotten some good games, and I wish I'd held on to them, but anyway, so here we go. Super Mario AllStars, Super Mario World, the combo. I'm a big fan of Super Mario AllStars. I love the remake. It's fun to play, especially because you got the lost levels in there, which is pretty cool. And the next thing I got is Donkey Kong Country, and this is a really fun game as well. This one's got needs a little bit of cleanup. I haven't had an opportunity to do so yet, but I believe that it'll clean up and be nice and pretty when I'm done. So for the Nintendo 64, I had Banjo Kazooie, but I did not have Banjo Tooie, so I'm actually adding this to my collection. It's unfortunately the only Nintendo 64 game I'm adding to my collection at this time. I really didn't find any other games that I wanted to hold on to, but this one's definitely going in there, and I hear it's a fantastic series. I've played it a little bit. I've never played it all the way through. Moving right along here, we'll switch over to the Nintendo GameCube, which you guys know is a console that I was really trying hard to, you know, pick up this summer. And what I got was, the first game I got was Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Now, I don't collect every single game. I'm only collecting the games that I personally have an interest in. And I got this game because it's, well, number one, it's in mint condition. Even the case is in fantastic condition. And number 2, my son has taken an interest in the Power Rangers, so I figured this would be something we could play together. So I'm holding on to this for my collection. And let's see here. This next game, you guys saw me just recently. I ordered this, which is SSX On Tour, and I ordered SSX 3 as well. And the SSX 3 was supposed to be mint condition, brand new, and the disc was just, it was well used, so I had to send it back. And I'll hope to be picking up another copy of SSX 3 in the near future, in addition to the SSX Tricky. If you've ever played snowboarding games, these are fantastic. They have a great soundtrack, and once you unlock the entire mountain, you get like a whole half-hour straight of just downhill goodness. So if you ever get an opportunity, grab one of these games and play it, spend some time, unlock the whole mountain, and I promise you, you'll have a good time. So there you go. The next game that I added to the collection is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now, I have this on the Wii, but I wanted to add it to my GameCube collection. So when this came across my plate, I was really happy to get a hold of it. Next I got was Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, I picked up the case, and it's the one with the bonus disc. The case and the bonus disc earlier this summer, but the game was not in there. So I actually added the game to it, and then I just sold the case for the other one, and came out ahead. The case is in fantastic condition. The disc is great, and I was really happy to have this. I'm a big fan of Mario Kart. And now we'll move over to handhelds. For the Nintendo DS, another game that I already had the case for was Super Mario DS, and I managed to get a hold of the game to complete the game, and I was really excited to do so. Mario 64 DS is they've done some changes from the original one. They made added so you could be different characters, and just made a little bit of changes here and there. I don't know all of the changes, but if you do enjoy the original Super Mario 64, try this one out. And then for the handhelds, for a couple loose games, I have Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, which I haven't really played this. I'm not super familiar with it, but I plan on getting to know it very well. And then Golden Nugget Casino DS. I held on to it because I like playing blackjack and figured this might be fun at some point, so might as well just hold on to it, being that it's a cheap game and all. Anyways. Alright, so we'll move on to the 3DS. And what I got for the 3DS is Mario and Luigi Dream Team, which is a bunch of really cool little mini games. And I was super happy to get a hold of this. And I got most of these DS and 3DS games all in one pickup. Now, this one I had the game, but I did not have the case. So I was really happy to get a hold of a complete one. Actually, it's missing the manual. I still have to hunt that down, but usually a quick trip to GameStop will remedy that because they give me manuals all the time. So anyways, finally glad to have this not rattling around or loose or potentially lost. I was really excited about that. Alright, so now we're going to move on to, I guess we'll stick with Nintendo and complete the Nintendo stuff first. The next game I got, well, yeah, was Pikmin 2. And I had Pikmin 1 in mint condition. This one is in mint disc as well. These are actually rising in value, so if you have any interest in Pikmin 1 or 2, I highly suggest you get them now before they go up in price any further. They're fantastic. They're a remake. They're not really a remake. It's pretty much the same game as on the GameCube, but they changed the controls up and they made it a lot more fun. It's a lot easier. People, really, appreciated the improvements, especially by using the Wiimote. So I had Pikmin 1, and then I picked up Pikmin 3, and I had this as a gap, so I had to order this online and complete the Pikmin collection. And I was really happy to do so because, Pikmin, they're a fun game. Now, we'll move on to the Wii U. And speaking of Pikmin, I got this pretty much during the same time as I got Pikmin 2. I picked this up off of a Craigslist buy, and I got a really fantastic deal. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it was a really good deal. And I already had the digital version of it, but when I really like a game, I want the disc so I can have it in my collection forever. And I was really happy to get a hold of this as well. I haven't had an opportunity to try it out yet, but I definitely will, just to see the difference between the Wii and the Wii U controls and such. Now, the next two games I got, I'm really happy about. Interesting thing, if you buy a used Wii, or I'm assuming DS or anything Nintendo related, and that person has some digital content on there for you, if they go and they close out their Nintendo account, you lose that digital content. And I learned that the hard way with Wind Waker. And it's okay because I was planning on buying this disc anyways. It just made me buy it sooner than later. I have the limited edition Zelda Wii U, and it had Wind Waker on it. And I was playing the game, and then just like I left it for about a month or so, and I came back and surprise, it was off. So I had to go ahead and grab this. So, and then finally, lastly for the Nintendo Wii U, Hyrule Warriors. And I have to say that I've spent a little time playing this, and I enjoy it. It's pretty much exactly Dynasty Warriors, but just with Link and Zelda and all that other, you know, upgrades and weapons and all that other good stuff. Definitely worth picking up. I don't know if I would have paid $65 for it again, though. I would probably wait until it came down in price, or I found it, like, you know, on a good deal on Craigslist. But, you know, I was excited to get it, and I managed to pick it up, so no regrets. Alright, so moving on now, away from the Nintendo world, we'll go into the Xbox world. This time I only got a couple games, and they were Kinect games. Usually I veer away from Kinect games, but figure it might be something that my little boy can enjoy. And plus I'm a big fan of Sonic, so I grabbed Sonic Free Riders for my collection. I'm not sure how good of a game it is, but it's Sonic, and I do like to collect all the Sonic stuff, so I figured why not. And then this game, I haven't even pulled the sticker off, and that's totally not like me. Child of Eden for the Xbox 360. Now, I know they make this for the PS3, and generally I veer towards Sony, but I played this with the Kinect once, and it was fantastic. It was really, really a cool game. And for the price, I think it was definitely worth it. If you have a Kinect, this is kind of a neat experience because it's kind of like, can't really describe it. It's like you're in a digital world, and you have like little bosses and stuff like that, and your hand gestures either shoot or, you know, do like a super move. Or it's a pretty interesting little game. Definitely give it a shot if you guys don't, you know, if you come across it, grab it if you got a Kinect. Now for the PlayStation 3, I've been collecting the Tom Clancy Splinter cells, and I've gotten all of them so far. So I decided, you know, to start looking into what other Tom Clancy games, and this one actually got pretty good reviews. Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Now I know there's another one, a part 2 I believe, and I'll be grabbing that for my collection as well. It seems to be a pretty fantastic game, so I figured why not just add that into my PS3 collection. Next is Kingdoms of Amalur: The Reckoning. This was a Leap Trade experiment. Traded some games for Leap Trade, and I picked this up. It seemed like a really, really cool game. A lot of people were recommending it, so I had to grab it. And then, of course, Ico and the Shadow of the Colossus is another Leap Trade game that I managed to grab. And you can't go wrong with Shadow of the Colossus. Everybody knows they played it. There's some pretty epic bosses in there, actually all of them. And then lastly for the PlayStation 3, a game that I recently did a video on, the Puppeteer. I can't say enough good stuff about this game. It's really fun. It was not something I did not expect, and hopefully some of you guys have already picked it up and enjoy it. And lastly, for the PlayStation 4 this month, I got Lego Marvel Superheroes. And this was another Leap Trade experiment. I actually had the Xbox One version of this, and it was going for like $34, and this one was going for $32. So I traded just to get it on the console that I had originally wanted, and got a couple extra bucks on credit as well. So this is a fantastic Lego game. I'm not into Legos mostly, but I'm kind of rethinking it because this game is actually really, really cool. So, and then lastly, I managed to pick up Destiny in the white PS4 Destiny bundle. Now, this is actually, it's not in here because I'm using it actively as my console, but definitely enjoy the white console. It's really, really nice, and Destiny is a fun game. Unfortunately, I've lost a few friends to it though. That's all they want to play these days. And I do feel like there are other games out there to play. It is a fun game. Leveling up is great, but I just don't see myself playing it every single day all the time. But it is definitely a breath of fresh air from the Call of Duty series. I don't like multiplayer first-person shooters that much. I'll jump in once in a while for a very short amount of time and enjoy it. But the fact that this had co-op really made it a special game for me. So I definitely would recommend that you pick this up if you don't have it. And I would also recommend the white PS4 if you don't have one, just because it's really pretty. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe, because I got some really cool stuff coming up here in the very near future. Thanks, guys.